Hey everyone, welcome back. So this is going to be my monthly haul video. So everything I picked up, some of these titles you would have seen in either pickups videos or Blu-ray hunts throughout the month. But yeah, so I'll try and skip over those a bit quicker if I can remember which ones came from where. And there's a load of other stuff in here sort of blended in that I probably haven't shown on a video yet. So yeah, I've got a lot of import stuff this month. A lot of import stuff, a fair bit from CEX where I've sort of chopped stuff in and used vouchers to pick up more bits. But yeah, loads of titles. It might be a long video. Apologies in advance. So let's get started. So the first title here I'm going to do, I'm going to break these down not in the order I got them, but maybe in sort of like where I got them from. So the first one here was just off of eBay, and I did cover this one already in the video, so I won't go too far into it. But that is the horror movie from the 2000s sort of period called The Asylum. Watched this one. It was okay. It wasn't great, but I'll keep it in the collection. It's sort of a sweet spot for me, that sort of area of horror movies. So yeah, I will keep it in the collection. Then I've got 3 charity shop finds this month. So the first one here I picked up, which is one of the titles that I thought I had in the collection. It must have been on DVD, and I just assumed it was on Blu-ray somewhere in the collection here, but I didn't have it. Not a big Western fan, but this one I did watch and quite enjoy years ago, so I wanted to pick it up on Blu-ray. Just happened to find it in a charity shop for about, I think it was £1.50, £1, something like that. But that is Jeff Bridges in True Grit. So yeah, I think pretty sure this is a remake. I haven't seen the original, but I did watch this one, and yeah, had a pretty good time with it considering Western's not my favourite genre. So yeah, picked up True Grit for less than a couple of quid in a charity shop. A 4K bargain this month. Again, I did show this in a previous video this month, but 2012 for I think £2.50 I paid, something like that. It's in the video I did previously. But yeah, pretty good for a 4K disc and a Blu-ray in there. Can't grumble at that price. And then the other bargain from the charity shop this month was an animated film from DreamWorks for 20p. Got Monsters vs Aliens. I've seen this one before. Yeah, it's pretty good. You know, just what you'd expect from a DreamWorks movie, animated movie, kids movie. Not too bad at all. So yeah, I will go on to. So I've got 2 titles here that I ordered from Amazon. So the first one here came up on pretty good price, and I just thought, yeah, I've been meaning to watch this one. I'm going to pick it up. Now it's dropped down to about, I think it's $6.99, $7.99, somewhere around there. Might still be that price. So yeah, a Nick Cage movie. Quite like Nick Cage. And that is a movie called Dream Scenario. I watched this the other night, and yeah, I really enjoyed this one, to be fair. This one was ticks a lot of boxes for me. It's a very grounded film in the sort of tone of the movie, but it does stray into the kind of like surreal and absurd in the dream scenarios, basically. But yeah, no, I had a good time with that one. I'd recommend that if you were into sort of like a bit of an odd drama. Don't know how to really phrase that one. But yeah, if it's sort of grounded movies, but that do vary into the surreal and into the odd. Made me think of like Being John Malkovich, that type of movie where they're fairly grounded, but actually there's a very surreal kind of weird plot line going through them. But yeah, I enjoyed that one. Highly recommend that one, Dream Scenario. And the next one here I picked up, I was watching one of Lisa Love's videos, and I think actually she was saying she didn't enjoy this one, but it intrigued me, so I thought I'm going to pull the trigger on this one, and it came up on Amazon for, again, $6.99, somewhere around that ballpark. And that is a movie called Red Rocket. I haven't watched this one yet, so I can't tell you too much about this one. But yeah, I have seen this pop up a few times on various channels and different feeds. It's never really sort of pulled anything in my head to say pick it up, but yeah, Lisa Loves was sort of describing it. It sounded okay. It sounded okay to me, so I thought I'll give it a try because yeah, it might be something I'm into. Right, the next lot I'll do. So these are all the ones I picked up from HMV, either from in store or in online. So the next bunch here I've got. I think I've covered most of these in a previous pickups video, so I won't take too long on them. First one here was a must get for me. Team America 4K. So yeah, one of my favourite comedies. It's the uncut version. I watched the uncut version the other week. Yeah, fantastic. If you haven't seen it, I won't spoil what extras in there, but there's certainly some scenes in there that yeah, there's one scene in the middle there that you'll definitely notice a few more extra bits in that in the scene. I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, if you know, you know. That was really good. 2 here, which you know, owe some sort of like credit here to Skincrawlers channel. Really good channel. I've been watching a lot of his content this month. Really nice guy as well over there, so he's always chatting in the comments with me as well. But yeah, he picked up. I think he picked up maybe both of these. I can't remember now. But yeah, I definitely got one of these based on sort of like his review. I forget which one it is. They're very, very similar. So the first one here was The Sacrament. I had a really good time with this one. It's a Ty West movie, and yeah, I thought it was great. It's very, again, very grounded kind of horror. So it's very realistic horror in terms of there's no boogeyman as such. You know, it's not sort of made believe fantasy stuff based on. It doesn't ever claim to be, but it's clearly based on some sort of true event that happened many years ago. Very famous event. If I could think what it is, I'll put it up on here somewhere. I'm sure you will know if you already know about that one, but yeah, I enjoyed this one a lot. Goes very dark towards the end. That's all I'll say if you're into this one and you're not too sure what's coming. And then similarly, I picked up The Borderlands, which is a found footage movie again, same as The Sacrament was. So yeah, this one's a found footage movie about these priests this priest who claims to have witnessed a miracle in his sort of church, and yeah, the church themselves send in a couple of people, 3 guys, to go and investigate and disprove or prove whether this miracle is actually true, or whether the guy's making the whole thing up. Yeah, it's sort of like a creepy, supernatural, dark corridor, kind of like static cam set up there. You know, you're looking everywhere in the screen where it just shows you different shots in the church. I really like this type of horror. So yeah, it's similar vein to the sort of paranormal activity type movies, but set in England. Yeah, really enjoyed this one. The Borderlands, picked that one up from HMV. So this one here, I was after this one. I couldn't find it in store, so I ended up ordering it online with HMV and used a 20% off code. So $9.99 less 20%. It made it almost like I was doing a 2 for 15. One I've seen before. That one is called The Demon Seed. Yeah, I enjoyed this one back in the day. I don't know why I got rid of it. I think probably CX was given a really good price for it, and I chopped it in thinking I'll pick it up again at a later stage. So yeah, I wanted to pick that back up again. Happy to get that back in the collection. Then the other 2 for 15s I got on the deal in store was Running on Empty, which again I have seen previously and pretty much enjoyed. I know Andy at Forgotten Movies is a big fan of this movie, so yeah, I was happy to get that one in the collection as well. And one I think here, which everyone seems to be picking up recently, is Judgment Night. Haven't seen this one yet, so I can't say too much about it, but I've heard it's very, very good. The next one I picked up was the 101 limited edition set of The Lawnmower Man. So this comes with 1 and 2. I watched number 1 again the other day because I think I've seen it years and years ago. It was okay. It wasn't quite as good as I was hoping it was going to be. It was fine. And I think 2 is meant to be, you know, even worse. So I might have a look at number 2 and just see. It may or may not stay in the collection long term, but it's a really nice set. It's just the films sadly aren't quite up to what I remember. Okay, so then the next stack will do everything I picked up in CEX. So most of this stuff would have been used for credits essentially. I don't think I paid too much actual hard cash for this stuff. It was all sort of swaps, if you like, for stuff I didn't need in the collection anymore. So the first one I picked up, or one of the ones I picked up, I should say, is a movie I have seen, and it is called The Lighthouse. I know Arrow's just released this, I think, or fairly recently released this one. Yeah, I believe an A24 movie. Yeah, A24 movie. So you're going to expect sort of like independent movie, a bit odd. I quite liked it. It's not one I'd rewatch a lot, but for the money there, £6, happy to pick it up and stick it in the collection. So again, I've been going through my anime kind of little kind of thing recently. This one came up in a CX I was sort of browsing in the other week, and although it's a fair bit of money, it's fairly reasonable considering it had the slipcover on there, and online they're charging quite a bit more for it anyway. I think I'm saying this right, so it's Pom Poco, I think. So yeah, don't know anything about this one, haven't watched it yet, £15. But yeah, it looks pretty decent, and like I say, some of these ones are quite hard to find now on, well, not hard to find, just expensive to pick up on eBay. So this one here, I know this one's got sort of slated quite a lot, and I've avoided it until it's come right down in price. So at the £6 mark, I don't know, for credit, I thought, yeah, I'm happy to pull the trigger and just have a look for myself. And that is the Five Nights at Freddy's. So yeah, again, I haven't watched this one as yet. I've heard some mixed things now, mostly negative stuff, but I've got quite a high tolerance for bad horror. So hopefully for me, it might work out. Next one here was another one I thought I had in the collection. Excuse me. But after checking, I didn't. So again, it must have been a DVD that I assumed I'd picked up on Blu-ray by now. Good cast in this one: Josh Hartnett, Morgan Freeman, Ben Kingsley, Lucy Liu, Bruce Willis, and that's lucky number 11. Yep, £3. It's been so long since I've watched this one, I can't tell you much about it. I remember enjoying it pretty much back in the day. It's an 18 certificate, so it's got to have something in there, you know. But yeah, so the next one I picked up here was a one I have previously shown again. Anthony Hopkins and Colin Farrell in The Solace, or Solace. Again, pretty sure I've watched this one back in the day, and I remember enjoying it. I don't know how much, I can't remember how much I paid now. It wasn't very much on there, but again, it's on a previous video. This one again was, I think, about £1.50, something like that, and that was Cyrus, comedy there with John C. Reilly and Jonah Hill from Superbad, I think he's in. But yeah, it's okay, it's quite good. I quite like these easy watching comedies, especially for the sort of like £1 or so. Another one for the same reasoning was in the same pickup video I did earlier this month. So that's Anna Faris in The House Bunny. Had this on DVD, watched it a couple of times, a few laughs in it. Only a 12 certificate, so it doesn't get too bad, this one, but yeah, it's all right. This one, I still haven't got to this one yet, but like I said in the previous video, it was about, I think it was about £5 or £6, this one. And that's the point, I'll pick it up just to give it a go if I'm not certain on these Arrow titles. And that is Don't Torture a Duckling. So yeah, I haven't watched it as yet, as I say, but I know it gets quite good reviews. Sometimes these kind of horrors, or this sort of age bracket horror, doesn't quite sit, you know, very well with me, but we'll give it a go. Again, similarly, I know a lot of people in the comments of the pickups video said they think I'm going to enjoy this one, so hopefully this is the case. And that is the Boondock Saints. So again, for £6, it's that gambling and happy price I'm willing to pay just to find out if I like these ones on the Arrow label. This one here, I can't remember if I've shown this one off or not. I think I possibly did. But you've got Al Pacino in this one, and that is the Panic in Needle Park. So yeah, I think I did show this one off now. But yeah, £6, Panic in Needle Park. Again, can't remember if I've watched this or not. If I did, it would have been probably VHS days. This one here is another Arrow title I picked up called Empathy Inc. So this one I've picked up a few times, but I think the thing on the back of it that actually sold me was when it mentioned that it was a bit like in the vein of, what was it now? It mentioned a film, and I thought you've sold me there. So with Shades of Pie and Twilight Zone and Primer. So Primer, I'm a big fan of Primer. If you haven't seen Primer, it's a really good low budget time travel movie. It's either, it's quite Marmite, I think, so a lot of people either watch it and just either don't get it or hate it, and obviously if you don't, in the other end of the spectrum, you actually really love it. I'm in the category of loving that one. Don't know if it could be anywhere near as good as that, but willing to give it a go again for that £6 mark. So that's Empathy Inc. Another one here was one I watched previously, and you know, I wanted to pick it up in the collection for the £1.50. Nicole Kidman, Colin Firth in Before I Go to Sleep. So I think from vague memory, this woman basically loses her memory every night and wakes up next to her husband, supposedly. And then he has to kind of like fill her in on the details of like what's been going on in her life. And yeah, it's a bit of a mystery thriller type movie from memory. Can't remember a lot about it, but I remember it being pretty decent. And for £1.50, thought I'd pick it up. So another anime here I picked up. I can't remember how much this one was, but again, I think it's been in a previous video. And that was The Whisper of the Heart. Haven't watched it as yet, so again, I can't comment too much on what it's like, but yeah, I'm building a nice little collection of these up now, ready to watch through. And then the sort of bigger set I picked up from a CEX this month was probably the dearest one. I think this one was £40. But again, for credit, wasn't so bad. And that is the one I've had my eye on for some time. It's the Jack Ryan collection on 4K. So you do get the Blu-rays in here as well. So you get a pack of Blu-rays down the side there, and then you get an identical pack of movies, but in the 4K format. So there we go. They're all the movies that are on there. So yeah, I've seen some of these, but not all of these. I think some of All Fears I remember watching with Morgan Freeman. Really enjoyed that one. I've seen a couple of other ones. I can't tell you which ones. They all desperately need a rewatch. But yeah, thought I'd pick that one up because I've had my eye on that one for quite some time. So next stack of movies is all basically everything I've imported. So these ones, they may or may not have UK Blu-ray. If they do, I've either had trouble finding it, or I couldn't find it, or it might be out of print. I'm not sure. But big stack of movies. Really happy with these imports. So I feel like the collection's getting to the point now where a lot of stuff I'm actually after is only available to import, or it's much easier to import. But with that said, I'll whip through these ones. There's quite a lot of horror titles in here. So kicking off with the first one, this one was imported. I think these are either going to be through Amazon or through eBay. They're pretty much the main two channels I use to pick up either one of these, whichever comes up cheapest. and that is the Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight. Watched that the other night. It's got Billy Zane. I know a lot of people have recommended this to me in the past. Yeah, had a really good time with this one. Thought this is pretty good. Love the practical effects and the creature effects that they have in there for the guys and the demons and everything. Yeah, really good watch. So I watched with my mates a few weeks ago now. We watched the 2000s Cabin Fever, and I had an absolute blast with that movie again. I've forgotten how much I love that movie. I have seen Cabin Fever 2, and I know that is kind of a very slated movie, and it's again, I think it's a Ty West movie that he's actually disowned because the producers or the company basically they went back and re-edited and reshot stuff, and he just said, no, it's nothing to do with me anymore. You've ruined it. I enjoy it for what it is. It's very kind of splattery kind of horror. So yeah, I picked up the uncut version of Cabin Fever 2. Yeah, it's not great. It's not anywhere near as good as the first Cabin Fever, but it's very splattery, very gory, very like liquidy, shall we say. Best word to use on that one. But yeah, I quite enjoyed it. Then I had an urge to watch or rewatch The Strangers. So I know I haven't seen that in years, and I thought it was okay, but I knew there was a sequel to it called The Strangers 2 Prey at Night, and I hadn't seen it, so I picked that one up and watched that one as well. Yeah, I thought this is pretty decent. It's got some good kills in there. It's got some good scenes, like that swimming pool scene down the bottom of the cover there is a pretty good one. I don't know what region, if this is locked at all. I don't think it is. Pretty sure it's region B because I played it on my region B player. This one here was this next one here was another import, obviously one I used to watch back in the 2000s that I remember being okay, but actually I rewatched it the other night. I enjoyed it more than I did back then, I think. So that is David Boreanaz and Denise Richards in Valentine. So yeah, I had a good time with this one. It's not the best slasher movie, but it's from the era that I really enjoy. But if you pick this one up, or you're willing to pick this one up and give it a go, it's basically on the cover. That's what you get when you first get it. But if you flip the artwork, which you can't see because it's in a black case, it actually has English language on the title anyway, and the spine, which I prefer obviously, so then I know what I'm looking at. But yeah, if you've got that one and you didn't realise, you can just flip the artwork over and it'll have the word Valentine on the cover instead of the Italian, I think it is, or whatever. But yeah, that was pretty decent. So this one, again, I showed this one previously in a video, but that is the movie On Golden Pond. Yeah, I watched this again the other night. Really enjoyed this one. I had seen it before, like I say, but yeah, really nice movie. It deals with this guy who's essentially getting, well, this couple, they're getting to their sort of, we say, twilight years, and they go and stay on this Golden Pond place where they've got this old little house, basically, right on the pond there with lots of water. And it's just a drama, a character study drama, but it's a really good one. If you haven't seen it or haven't heard of it, worth looking up on DVD or streaming, or you know, forking out for a Blu-ray if you want to. But yeah, I'd recommend that one. It's pretty good, easy watching, like Sunday movie. So this is one I watched via streaming quite a while back, and I really enjoyed this one. I know it gets mixed reviews, but yeah, this one is Brendan Fraser in The Whale. Yeah, I had a really good time with this one. I think another A24 movie as well. So yeah, picked that one up. I haven't really watched this one since, but yeah, I had a really good time with that one, and I really wanted to get it in the collection for the longest time. Another one that has been on my wish list for absolutely years, and I've just never pulled the trigger. I've always hoped that someone in the UK might release it, but they never have. I just thought, nah, the time's right. I'm going to pick it up. One of my favourite movies from back when I was a teenager, and that is John Cusack in High Fidelity. So yeah, this one's really good. I'm sure a lot of people know about this already, but basically this guy owns a record store, and he just tells the story of his past relationships, love life and stuff. I think it's Jack Black's one of his first roles, if not his first role. But yeah, really good, sort of like comedy from the early 2000s, I want to say. Yeah, sort of comedy, lots of vinyl, lots of music in there, bit of a drama, but yeah, I enjoy this one a lot. So yeah, wanted to pick that one up for the longest time. Another one I did show previously, I think I found this on a fairly good deal somewhere online. Tom Cruise in Cocktail. So I have seen it before, but again, been so long, I haven't actually rewatched it for some time now. Needs another rewatch from me. But yeah, always good to have another Tom Cruise movie in your collection. This one here was an import version of the movie Balto. So this is one I used to have on VHS as a kid, and I know Andy at Fogotten What Are Movies was chatting about it quite a while back. And I think Stuart George might have picked it up as well. But yeah, I thought I picked this up for £5-6, something like that on eBay. So yeah, that was pretty good, and wanted to give that another go. So these ones here were ones I just actually got fairly recently. These ones got imported from the MVD sale over in America. But yeah, this one is a Pamela Anderson movie. I haven't watched it yet. It's called Snapdragon. I think this has been on a few like really poor movie lists or something like that. But it was so cheap, I just couldn't not try it for the money. Basically, I think, like I said, I think it was about £4. This was the main one I wanted to pick up from that sale, and that is a film called Mikey. Again, I know Andy from Got What Are Movies. He's always mentioning this one and saying that it's a pretty decent watch. I know I'm pretty sure it's still banned in the UK. So yeah, I was quite happy to pick this one up for the £8, I think it was. But yeah, this one was pretty decent by all accounts. So I can't wait to tuck into that one. Got a lovely slip on there as well because it's part of the Rewind collection. So if you don't know, if you have a look at the MVD Rewind collection, that's where I'd recommend starting if you're looking into these titles, because they've got some great titles on that label. The other one I picked up for £3 was Smoke and Mirrors, the Tom Savini story. So yeah, I'm sure I've watched this on streaming and it was a real good time. I might just take this one out of the slip box actually, because it was really nice to see the artwork inside. But yeah, this one I couldn't pass it up for £3. But yeah, if you see all those, it just goes into a documentary about all of his work he's done previously, and yeah, really enjoyed that one. So I'd be happy to watch that again. Next one I picked up in the same sort of sale there from MVD was The Big White. With Robin Williams. So yeah, I had watched this one before. The more I was like reading about it, the more I thought, yeah, I do remember this one. It wasn't necessarily a dark thriller. They call it more of a dark comedy, but yeah, maybe in the terms like Fargo kind of dark comedy from very loose memory. Something about he's trying to get his hands on a dead body. It's a loose memory of it. But yeah, I think I had a good time with this one when I watched it previously, and it was, I think, like £4 or £5 or something like that in the sale, so I couldn't not pass it up. Again, hard to find in this country. This one here was on eBay and it came up for, I think it was a good price, or I just offered the seller like a cheeky offer and he accepted, so I was quite happy with that. So this one was the Never Ending Story Part 2. So I've got the Never Ending Story already on there, but I don't even know if I've seen Part 2. But these are 80s movies where all those creatures and everything in there, yeah, this is really where I'm at with the old school 80s movies. So I was happy to pick that one up for I think £8-9, something like that. It was pretty decent. Again, talking about the Skincrawlers channel that I mentioned earlier, I know he did a sort of like collection video of backwards slashers or summer slashers, and these came up in his video. I'm sure he had the set. But I thought, yeah, I need to pick these ones up, but I do want to find the uncut versions because there's a lot of versions out there which I think are cut by 5-6 minutes. So I'm slowly picking these up one by one. I think I've got the first one here and the last one, the fourth one, and that is the Hatchet series. So yeah, Hatchet from early 2000s, 2005, something like that, I think it is. Sort of like those typical like teen slasher movies where this like big guy takes out all his teens on, I think it's a swamp. It's been so long since I've watched it. But yeah, right up my street, these sort of films here. And like I say, the fourth one there was Hatchet Victor Crawley, which I believe, again, is the fourth one. But yeah, I'm looking out for number 2 and number 3, but I am just kind of waiting for the uncut versions to come available. And then the last couple here I got on import this month, or I did show this one previously. That is Leonardo DiCaprio in The Beach. So yeah, Danny Boyle movie from, again, early 2000s. I had a really good time with this one, rewatching it again, and yeah, if you haven't seen The Beach, I'd recommend checking that one out. And the next one is Paranormal Activity Next of Kin. So this one, I mean, I watched this one when this first came out on a streaming site somewhere, and I wasn't sure about it, to be honest, but the longer it sat with me, the longer I've wanted to recheck it out again. It's basically like a found footage movie, like the Paranormal Activities, but essentially I don't think it really needed to have anything to do with the Paranormal Activity universe. I think that was just to sell more, more copies of the film. But yeah, it's a very loose connection to the Paranormal Activity series, in my opinion, but from what I can remember. But yeah, I had a good time with it, to be honest, for what it is. I do like a lot of found footage movies. So that was the last import movie. So yeah, that was those. I think that might have been it. And the last one I picked up here, I missed this one out of the ones earlier I picked up from Amazon. So this one was picked up from Amazon. That is Pump Up the Volume. So I did watch this one. Yeah, I had a really good time with this one. I think it's a late 80s kind of like movie where this guy here plays when I say plays, he's basically got a radio kind of set up in his room, and he's just like talking loads to people basically. And he doesn't even know how many people or if anyone's listening, but he's a student at school. and he's chatting about all this stuff, and all his students start tuning into his radio station, listening to him and sort of agreeing with him on a lot of stuff. But yeah, it's an 80s kind of like, you know, it's teen school drama type thing. I won't tell you too much about it because I don't want to spoil anything. But yeah, it was worth a watch there. And again, another one that was recommended, I think, via Andy's channel. So yeah, happy to pick that one up. I think that's it. I think that's it. So there was a lot of titles there. I tried to cram it all in less than half an hour, 26 minutes. So yeah, that's everything I picked up. I tried to keep it as short as I could. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time for another video. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.